DJ Chamex on the mix. Hello guys, this is ZEP Tech. Thank you so much for joining us on this sort of a tutorial. It's a bit different from our usual tutorials. One of our fans suggested that we do a tutorial on how to switch from using a ZEP permit to a critical skills permit for those who are staying in SA. So basically this is what we're going to be covering in this program. It's going to be broken down into two parts. The first part will be just covering the requirements, general requirements for you to check your eligibility if you can switch from the ZEP to the critical work skills permit. Because as we know, from the 31st of December 2021, all the Zimbabweans who were using the ZEP permit, they were told that they cannot renew their permit anymore. Rather, they should switch from the ZEP to the critical skills work permit. So some people, they don't have an idea on how to go about this, so this is what we're going to be covering. Alright, so the first thing that you need to do is to open the government gazette, because as we know, the Minister of Home Affairs of South Africa on the 2nd of February, he announced that there is now a new list of the critical skills for foreign nationals who will be willing to work and stay in South Africa legally. There was a total of 101 occupations that were published. Okay, so to check if you are eligible or not, you need to open the government gazette. Okay, if you need all these documents which were used in this tutorial, I'm gonna put a download link below. Alright, so this is how the government gazette of SA looks like. So as you can see, like I said, it was published on the 2nd of February 2022, volume number 680, number 45860. So to make life simple, I made a mock-up of a certain individual. It doesn't exist, but this guy is going to be called Chibaba Chenyuchi. Chibaba is the first name, Chenyuchi is the surname. Okay, so what this guy does, he goes through the list of the critical skills that were published, and this guy is a chemist, but the problem is on the new list. Let me check where the chemist is. Okay, we found it right here. The occupation number is 17. Unfortunately, this guy only has a BSc in analytical chemistry. So if we check under the occupation name, it says chemist, and then we have the description, and then we have the minimum qualifications required. So if you have a BSc I'm sure your NQ level should be about 7, but in this case, for this guy to qualify, he needs at least a master's degree, which is an NQF level 9. And you should register with SAIP. This is the board recognized by SAQA for him to proceed. So this guy has to swallow his pride. He has to go down the list and see where he can fit better and where he can increase his chances of being granted that visa. Alright, here's an option here. There is an occupation number 86, which is the chemistry technician. And then as usual, there is a description, and in this case we are going to check the minimum qualifications required. As we can see, it says a diploma or an advanced certificate, NQF level 6 at least. So like I said, this guy is a BSc and the NQF level is 7. For him to increase his chances of his visa being approved, he has to go with this occupation, which is the chemistry technician. Okay, now that he has seen that his profession or his occupation is on the government list, the next thing that he has to do is to go on and check the required documents. Okay, but the bottom line is we need a professional board which is recognized by SAQA. Alright, so SAQA is trying to translate how your qualifications fit into the South African education system. So the first thing before he goes there, like I said, he has to check the requirements for the temporary residence visa, critical skills visa. Okay, I have this document right here. All these documents, if you want, you can go on to find them on the VFS documents. That's where I downloaded them. Okay, so if you are applying for the first time, you go on to check the first part of the list. But if you are renewing, unfortunately this tutorial is not for people who are just renewing their critical work visas, because already they know how to go about it. So the first thing that's required is it's a completed online form, of which some people are finding it difficult to fill this form, of which part 2 of this tutorial is going to show you how to fill this online form. Okay, and then the next thing that's required is a passport valid for not less than 30 calendar days after expiry of the intended visit. In simple language, you should have at least 1 month prior to your passport expiring. A medical report and a radiological report. You need to download these forms from the VFS website. You don't have to bring your own forms from your doctor, otherwise that might increase your chances of being disqualified, because these guys are paying to they are checking how you pay attention to small details. So if you make some such silly mistakes, you'll be increasing your chances of being disqualified. Let me try to zoom in so that you can see the document number. It's BI-811. That's the document number. For the medical certificate, you have to print this form and take it to your doctor, and then the doctor will just fill in the gaps right there. And then another form, the radiological report. Is number BI-BL-1 2020-806. You also have to check this. Alright, once everything is fine, you can do this simultaneously depending on your financial situation. We're on the required documents. Marriage certificates, I'm not going to take much on that. This applies to people who have a marriage certificate, but this guy that I'm going to use as an example is a single guy. Proof of a union doesn't apply. Divorce decree doesn't apply. Proof of court doesn't apply. Death certificate doesn't apply. All these things, they don't apply to his situation. Okay, I'm going to skip up to the police clearance. Police clearance certificate issued by the police or security authority in each country where the relevant applicant resided for 12 months or longer. This guy comes from Zim. He once stayed in Zim for more than 12 months, so obviously he's gonna need a police clearance from the Zim side and a police clearance from the SA side. If nothing has changed from what I know, the SA police clearance, you can get it at the VFS, Visa Application Center. There's no need for you to go to the police. Okay. Yes, Papa. Yellow fever vaccination doesn't apply because there's no yellow fever in Zim. A return undertaken by the employer accepting responsibility. This one definitely he should talk to his employer to write this document for you. All these documents that talk of the employer, they are needed, they are required. And then the proof that the applicant falls within the critical skills category. On to check if the occupation is listed on the government gazette published on the 2nd of February 2022. That is proof enough. And then proof of evaluation of the foreign qualifications by SAQA translated by a sole translator into one of the official languages of the Republic. Okay, for this one, you have to go to the SAQA website for you to check out the requirements or the documents needed for you to apply for SAQA evaluation. So this is how a SAQA certificate looks like. Okay, it has your name right here, and then your date of birth and the translation of your certificate into the Republican education system and all that kind of thing. If required by law, proof of application of a certificate of registration with a professional body recognized by SAQA. Okay, this applies to some bodies which take long for you to get a certificate. For example, Engineering Council of South Africa, EXA, and SACNASP. All those boards, they take time, so you might just need to submit the proof that you applied. But I would recommend that you wait for the proper certificate, otherwise they will find justification for your disqualification. So after you've gathered your documents, you've checked your eligibility, everything is now in place. This is where you need to go on to the VFS website and fill your online form. They won't accept handwritten forms. So this is going to be covered in the next tutorial. I recommend that you subscribe and turn on the bell icon so that each time we upload a new video, you won't miss out anything. Thank you so much guys for watching.